because we have a lot to do, I will just quickly breeze through. The second variation to malice is the malice triggered by jealousy and envy. First, the success of a spouse. When you marry people that cannot handle the success or dreams of the other person, you know, the more successful you are, the more insecure they are. You understand? It's funny. Let us look at the first act of malice in the Bible was when Cain killed Abel. What did Abel do? We were to offer sacrifices. I did mine. You did yours. Mine was accepted, yours was not. And then you got angry. You told me, Olumide, escort me here. While I was escorting you, you took a stone and struck me from behind, killing me. What did I do? You're a hunter. I'm a farmer. So we were not even competing in the same line of business. Your line of business is mine is not. So there was no competition. But the fact that yours was accepted caused an envy that triggered murder. The first act of murder in the Bible was that of malice, covered in jealousy. The second was King Saul wanting to kill David. Why? Because God chose him. Look at in the time of King Solomon, a lady who slept on a baby, waking up seeing the baby was dead, switched babies. You know, children have their distinctive mark. You would know it, your own child now. And when the lady woke up, saw the baby was dead, and then she realized, this is not my baby. And he says, this is your baby. Well, give me my. He said, no, this is my baby. And they took it to King Solomon. And King Solomon said, give me a knife. And that one said, it's good. Oh yeah, cut the baby in half. So, you know, nobody would have. Read it, you would see that was what she said. Kill it so that both you and I, nobody will have a child. And this woman said, please, don't kill. Give it to her. Some people, it's like, let it spoil for both of us. Let's go back, Jack. If I don't have it, you don't have it. And you did nothing wrong. What? Both of you slept, both of you were mothers, both of you were breastfeeding. You slept on the left side, she slept on the right side. You killed yours, and suddenly because yours is dead, you don't want anybody. Because you lost your job, everybody must. You know, there are people that cannot handle the success of a spouse. I keep telling you of the story. It happened to a lady who was promoted in the office and given an official car. She rushed home to tell the husband that, I was promoted and we gave her an official car. The man said, true? He said, yes, so. The next thing is, why are you the only one they are promoting in that office? They promoted you 3 years ago, they promoted you again.
No way.
You and that your boss. And she said, what do you mean? By me, I'm working now. Am I the only one in there? I'm doing my job, I know what I'm doing. Anyway, don't park any official vehicle in this compound. She had to be parking the official car outside the compound because her husband would not allow her. Eventually, he said that she had to leave the job. Some people, your progress is a threat to them. I told you of a lady who went all the way to make sure that her husband missed his interview. Locked the gentleman in the bathroom on the day of the interview. Why? Because she said if he got the job, he would have a lot of money and women would start flocking around him. So she's content with him on this level. Malice. These are acts of malice. When you are dating someone, you need to see how they respond to. You are talking about what you would like to be. There was a lady that called me. The marriage was in 3 months. She said everything she says. The guy will say, you want to do masters? What's wrong? You know, you just want to be reading and reading. Anyway, when we get married. Hey. So that was all he was always saying. Anyway, when we get married. Anyway, and you know, after some time she asked me, I said, what does that sound like to you? He's just waiting to have some form of authority over you in the holy wedlock called matrimony. That was what, and that is the seal of authority on some people, that they want to take over somebody's life. It's just amazing. Look at the Pharisees and Sadducees and religious leaders who had been talking about the kingdom of heaven, and then the Messiah came. When the Messiah came, they could not take it. That if they actually said that this man will take everybody from following us, Why? Because Jesus knew what he was doing. And if they only just looked closer, they would see that this is indeed the Son of... But no, let us crucify him. Listen, stop marrying. And if you're already married to someone who cannot handle your success, you are sleeping with everybody. If you go here, you are sleeping with them. If you go there, you are sleeping with them. The moment you have money, who gave you money? You have a boyfriend that is funding. Listen, it is better for you to leave, because every act of malice, right from scripture, did not end well. They are threatening you, and you think that in prayer, in threats, will, you see, Proverbs 22:3 always tells you, a wise man sees trouble from afar and hides himself, but the simple walk into it and are punished. The simple, you just think they come to you, there is nothing, what God cannot do does not exist, just keep praying. Okay, I have a guest in the show today, and her name is Tina. I would like us to just hear from her. Tina, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Just
No, don't worry. Okay. I want to first of all thank you for agreeing to come to share your story on this program. It's amazing. So, Madam Tina, how long have you been married?
12 years, sir.
12 years.
Yes, sir.
And how long did you date before you married?
Less than 6 months.
In the 6 months, did you see things that, ordinarily were signs that, Madam, you need to leave?
Yes, like the aspect of stinginess,
Go ahead.
nagging, aspect of stinginess, nagging, complaining, a lot of things.
Okay.
So why did you go ahead?
Along the line, during my dating, that something led to another. I became pregnant outside marriage, so we decided to go on with the marriage.
Okay, so it was, but if the pregnancy did not come, would you have married him?
No, sir.
So it was a marriage
Based on
because
pregnancy.
you didn't want the shame.
Yes, I work people because I was working with a multinational, and I don't know what people say about me.
This shame that other people are looking for, the shame, the pregnancy that other people are looking for, that same shame. Okay, so tell me, how was the journey? How was the marriage? How did it?
When we started at first, he said he was a pastor, he's good, he doesn't drink, he's a graduate of land survey from Awolowo University.
Ife.
Yes,
Obafemi Awolowo.
Obafemi Awolowo University. He read land survey, then he said he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, then he promised a lot of things. So after the marriage, that was in 2010, because I had to rush. I knew him in 2009, and I decided to go on with the marriage because of the pregnancy in 2010. We fasting up everything. During the marriage, that was 2 weeks after a week after the marriage, I discovered he masturbates a lot, and I complained about that. He said it has been a childhood problem that he's going to stop. After that, 2 weeks to the marriage, my father-in-law called me complaining of the photographer we used, that the money was not settled. So I was asked to foot the bill. But I told my father-in-law that this money was already settled. I gave him all the money because he didn't even foot the bill for the wedding. I had to
paid for your wedding?
Yes, I had to, without the concept of, I didn't allow my parents to know. I took a loan from my company.
Wait, did your parents, what did they have to say? Did they like him?
They never wanted him. They never wanted
Did
him.
anyone give you reasons why?
Yeah, no, they said he's a stingy man that cannot give you anything to, as in to take you out, to make your hair, all those things. So what do you want to show for? Naturally, my mom said he doesn't like him. I shouldn't go.
So okay, so let's move on to the marriage itself, to the wedding. Or is it traditional? Was it traditional
It
or?
was not traditional because he said he doesn't have money to do the traditional, that we just go to the court. His uncle is I think a major, maybe he's one of his head that place, so it was so easy for him to drag me to the court.
Was he working?
Then he said he was working with Inland Revenue. I used to see him with the shirt, but I have no reason to doubt because he speaks well, and I used to see him with the uniform.
Eloquence is not sense. Anyway, move.
So after 2 weeks, then there was issue of the photographer footing of the bill. So I had to take loan because the money was 10,000. I took a loan from my company. I went to the man to pay. The man refused, told me that I should go back and bring my husband by 7:30, that he's going to tender all the photographs for the wedding to me and the video. So when I go home, I told him. He said, no, I shouldn't worry, that he's going to take care of it, that he's going to pick the girl. I said, no, I feel that there is more to this, because on my wedding day, the man actually told me to cancel the wedding, that he never knew I'm from the East, that I should please.
Who told you to cancel the wedding?
The photographer.
Ah.
Yes, he said I shouldn't go on with the marriage, that I should not go in, that he has a lot to tell me, but he cannot tell me because he has been dragged into it. So I told him I'm already pregnant, and you can see I'm on my wedding gown, and we have visitors. Why are you coming this time? Then the brother's wife came too and told me to cancel the marriage.
That's the brother of
my husband. Yes.
Brother.
Yeah, he said because I'm not from Yoruba, he would have told me a lot about it.
Where are you from?
I'm from Delta State.
Where in Delta?
Anyacha North local government. He said,
okay.
Why he's from Ibadan. Yes. So I didn't listen because visitors were around and I cannot call up the.
So two people on your wedding day were telling you to call up the wedding photographer and the sister of the wife of the
brother, that's the junior brother's wife.
Okay.
So.
And they both said because you are not Yoruba.
Yes, the other one said because I'm from his side, Igbo. That is why he's telling me this, that I should not go into the marriage.
Okay, go ahead. We have just 15 minutes. Let's go.
So, on that fateful day, I felt there is more to it. So I had to drag him along. Then he came. Then the photographer told me that he's sorry that he was dragged into it because the contract he had with my husband was that there should be no evidence of marriage. So all he did that day was to flash, and that was the 10,000 I paid for. There was no video of it. It was as if I was dreaming. I looked at him. He didn't say anything.
Wait, your husband told him just to be pressing the flash?
Yes.
So there were no actual.
There was no actual
photograph.
Yes. So I said, why? He said nothing. He couldn't say anything. He said, so the money I paid was the agreement between the two of them, just to come and flash and do anything. But because I'm from his side, he gave me a picture. He said, this is the only evidence you have that you are married to this man. So I was very, very disturbed. I cried all through. I was just saying, I'm sorry. I told him, when you know you don't like me enough, why did you go on with the marriage? So after that, my salary was not enough to cater for
There was another, during the wedding, was it the traditional? There were some court, I think they brought some drinks or something.
Yes, they were all expired wine. all expired. So my dad called me that it's a bad omen.
All the drinks he brought for your father,
The drinks,
all
yes.
the wine were
All
expired.
the wine were expired. All.
I would like to think that was intentional, or he didn't know that he was.
He did that.
It was intentional because he repeated it.
Correct. He repeated it again. When?
Yes, anytime like my dad pays a visit, he will come with an expired one. When my dad comes, because my dad stays in Abuja, he comes to Lagos to visit us. When he's on, maybe just want to relax, he comes to Lagos.
And he would give him. Does he buy the expired wine, or is it that he has a stash of expired wine?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
So after that, after that, I asked him, he stopped, he doesn't even perform his responsibilities. If I asked him money for food, he said, no, marriage is 50-50. I'm working, he's working. So since the marriage, I have been the one footing all the bills, paying for the children's school fees. So when I was pregnant in October, I gave birth to my first child. I was able to save, because my salary was not much, but I was able to save. Then on the day of delivery, I gave him the money, 28,000 for the discharge, to help discharge us. So on that day, we were supposed to be discharged on Saturday because I gave birth on Friday. Then he came on Saturday, how far we did this? He said, don't worry, he has taken care of it. When the doctor came for the routine checkup, I asked when are we moving out. He said we have not paid. I said no, my husband paid on Friday. He said no, we have not paid. When he came, he said when I gave him the money, he had toothache. He had to use it to remove his tooth that he has used the money. That was on the hospital bed. I had to call some of my colleagues who came again to
After delivery, he had to.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I cleared off the bill. So since then, I just have it at the back of my mind, myself, my children. He distanced me from my family. He doesn't want me to have anything to do with my family. He insults my family, that my family is a witch. For 1.5 years, he doesn't want me to have anything to do with my parents, my sisters, my friends. None of them. Anybody that comes, anytime I ask, they say no, that they don't want anything to do with me, that my husband is threatening them. So
he threatens people, even
yes,
friends and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
So after that, I saw one of my family friends and I begged that I needed to change the job, and he said he works with a multinational, he's going to assist me. So I gave him my CVs. It was in the presence of my husband. Then, not knowing that, immediately I left, my husband followed him to his house and threatened that if he ever give me that job, he's going to show him and that. After a week, I was expecting him to call me because the vacancy was very urgent. Then he was avoiding me. I had to carry my child to his place. And I asked, he said no, that he doesn't want the problem, that my husband came to his house to confront and threaten him. So he doesn't want. So I now looked at him. I said, look at this child. Is my child healthy? He's malnourished. Look at me. If you don't help me, God will ask you. That was why I picked up my baby. As I was going in, he called back and said I should come to the company. That I will try and see that something is being done. But the interview is just by myself if I'm able to pass the interview. So as God will have it, I went for the job interview and I passed, and I was asked to resume in January. So I had to leave my former job. There was no food at home, nothing. I was still breastfeeding because my child was less than 6 months. There was no food at home. I saw him drinking garri and milk, and I told him that this child had not eaten. There was no food. Please give me the water and let me feel it in the.
Let me give you a minute. So sorry.
I told him, give me just the water. Let me feel it in the baby's.
Okay, hold on.